Off in the distance, Miles Moose could see two shapes walking towards him. He figured that was probably who he was looking for. As the shapes approached him, he was able to discern that they were indeed the two children.
"Look up ahead. It's Miles Moose coming towards us,"
said Papa Bee.
"He's a good friend of Bella's, and he might know where she is."
Alex said.
"That looks an awful lot like that creature that came out of the water earlier today."
Alice said.
"Yes, it looks exactly like that very creature."
Papa Bee said.
"Creature? That's not a creature, it's a moose. Haven't you ever seen a moose before? That there is Miles Moose, to be exact."
Alice asked.
"Alex, didn't he call himself a swamp something?"
Papa Bee interrupted.
"Lop-eared swamp donkey. That's what he always calls himself. It's a self-bestowed nickname."
As Miles approached Alice and Alex, he said in a low tone,
"Please don't scream in my face again. That was very, very disturbing."
Alice and Alex both nodded in agreement and said,
We won't. We promise."
Then, just out from behind Miles' antlers buzzed Bella Bee. Brandon Bee cried,
"Look, there's Bella!"
He flew right towards her to give her a great big bee hug. Papa and Mama Bee flew right for her too and said,
"Oh my goodness! We were so worried when we couldn't find you. We checked all the regular places that you usually go, and we couldn't find you anywhere."
Bella Bee said,
"Papa, even you didn't think that I might have gone to see my good friend Miles?" "Well, I wouldn't say I didn't think of it."
said Papa. Brendan Bee looked at Papa and said,
"You didn't think of that, Papa." "He's right, Papa."
said Mama.
All right.
Papa said,
"Can we move on, please?"
Mama said,
"Bella Bee, are you all right?" "Yes, Mama. I'm fine. But have you looked at Miles' missing tooth?"
Brendan Bee said,
"What are you talking about, Bella?"
Bella Bee said,
"Look closely at Miles' mouth."
Papa flew right up by Miles' mouth, looked in, and saw a gaping hole where his tooth once was. Papa asked,
"Miles, what happened?"
Alice and Alex echoed and said,
"Yeah, what happened?"
Miles said,
"Well, let me begin at the beginning. I was out looking for flowers for Bella Bee to help pollinate this afternoon when a big shadow came over me and I looked up and saw Big Ben, the giant grizzly bear. I started to back up to give Benny a little extra breathing room when all of a sudden I fell backwards into a stream of water. I had no idea where I was at that point because there had never been any water here in the forest. I was really startled. And then, when I looked up, I saw two kids staring right down at me. As I brought my head above the water and began to introduce myself, they both let out a huge scream right in my face. Well, that scared me half to death. And I jumped up and I ran full speed as fast as I could away from those little monsters.
Alice said,
"We're sorry. We didn't mean to scare you."
Alex said,
"Yeah, we didn't mean to scare you, and by the way, we're not monsters."
Miles said,
What? You don't like monsters? Well, that's okay, kids. That leads me to why I was trying to find you in the first place. You see, I was running away. I kind of ran right into the tree and knocked my own tooth out. So now I sort of need your help to get it back."
Alice and Alex agreed to help him. Miles said,
"Let's walk back to the tree and you kids can retrieve my tooth."
Alice asked,
Why do we need to get it out for you, Miles?
Miles said,
Because last time I checked, I didn't have opposable thumbs. But you do.
Alice said,
Oh, of course. Well, that's the least we could do after startling you.
As they all began to walk back upstream towards the tree, they looked at the stream and commented that it seemed thinner than earlier. When Alex had wished for the bridge, and certainly shallower than when Miles was submerged in it, Papa B asked,
Miles, have you ever seen that stream before?
You know, I don't remember it ever being there before today.
He replied. Alex and Alice both agreed and said,
We have walked through these woods for years, and there has never been a stream here. Not in all the years we've been cutting through here.
Papa B agreed as well and said,
I don't remember seeing any kind of water in this area of the woods.
Mama B said,
That doesn't much matter because it's here now, isn't it?
Everyone nodded in agreement just as they reached the great redwood and looked up as far as they could see. Right there, stuck in the middle of the tree, was Miles' tooth.
Wow, that's stuck in there. Good.
Alice said.
How are we going to get it out of there?
They all stared at the tree and the tooth, wondering,
Does anyone have a baseball bat?
asked Bella B. Alex said,
I think I have one in my bag. Let me look.
he wrestled through several toys and games.
No, I have a baseball, but no bat.
Alice said,
I have 2 mitts, but no bat.
Miles said,
I don't have a bat, and neither do the bee family. Of course, even if they did, it would be a teeny tiny little bat, and probably wouldn't help us very much.
So there they were, all staring at the tree and the tooth. Before anyone could do anything, Alex jumped up and grabbed onto the tooth and just started pulling on it. He looked like some sort of monkey the way he was swinging back and forth on that tooth. But that thing wasn't budging. Out of breath, he finally let go and dropped to the ground.
That thing is really in there.
He sighed. The bees could not offer any suggestions. They were just too small to be of any help. They were all so perplexed by this giant tree with Miles' tooth stuck right in it. They didn't know what to do. It was so silent in the forest, you could barely hear what was left of the stream, moving quietly in the background. Then, like a cannon blast, Alice blurted out,
I wish there were a dentist here.
and suddenly they all heard the faint music of a jack-in-the-box. They looked around, and it kept getting louder, but they couldn't see anything, until poof! A jack-in-the-box appeared out of the cloud of powdered sugar right in front of Miles. Then, boing! Out popped
Dr. Dougie Dart, dentist, at your service.
He didn't really need to say that, as they could read it on the name tag he was wearing on his white lab coat.
By the way,
The dentist said,
is someone dusting a dessert or eating donuts? The air tastes faintly like confectioner's sugar.
Alex said.
That's not going to help us. That's just a toy.
Right about then, Dr. Dart turned to Alex and said,
I am absolutely not just a toy. I'll have you know I didn't attend 7 years of dental school to be referred to as just a toy.
Well, Dr. Dart, could you explain where your legs are and why you are inside a giant jack-in-the-box?
Alice said. Dr. Dart looked down and saw where he was.
Young lady, I realize how this looks, but I can assure you I have legs. Please allow me to demonstrate.
He started to squirm and tried to step out of that big box. He started bouncing up and down, back and forth, forwards and backwards. Alice tried to assist him in getting him back under control and said,
Look there, Doctor.
pointing at the tooth.
That's why I wished for you.
Dr. Dart looked at the tooth, at Miles, at Alex, who said,
Hey, where'd your mustache go?
The doctor looked over at the bees, back at Alex, back at Alice, back to the tooth, back at Miles, and said,
Oh, is that all? That's a piece of cake.
Miles said,
Oh, a piece of cake? That sounds really good right now. I like chocolate cake with chocolate frosting and rainbow sprinkles. That's my favorite.
Miles!
said Alex.
That's just a saying. Dr. Dart doesn't actually have any cake.
Dr. Dart finished by saying,
And cake will rot your teeth. I don't think you need any more problems with your teeth if you ask me. Now let's get this tooth out of here so I can go back to work. When you made your wish, I left poor Billy waiting in my dental chair at the office, and he's probably wondering where I went.
Dr. Dart started rocking that box back and forth until it was really moving and began to lift up off the ground. Then he flipped forward, landed on his hands, swung that box right into the tree, and knocked that tooth clean out of it. The tooth sailed into the nearby brush. Alice ran after it, picked it up, and handed it to Dr. Dart.
Hey you, big guy, with the antlers.
His name is Miles. And what did you say happened to your mustache?
Said Alice. Ignoring the question, Dr. Dart continued.
Yeah, you, Miles. Let's get this thing back in your mouth.
Dr. Dart began to work his dentistry magic on Miles' massive mouth. After a short while, everyone heard a loud pop like someone popping a cheek, and in went Miles' tooth. It was right back where it belonged. Just as quickly as he had appeared, poof, Dr. Dart disappeared, leaving only a business card with his name on it. Dr. Doug E. Dart, DDS. The group was stunned by the fact that their new friend had just disappeared into thin air. After all that, the moose had his tooth back, the kids met some new friends, the bee family found Bella Bee. Still, no one knew where the stream came from, and as they all turned to look at it again, they saw one lonely red rose growing up next to it. They all looked at one another and said, That rose wasn't there
Was it?
No, that rose was not there before.